It's great having you. We're welcoming you to our second session of today for our celebration for the start of our community. We are called the Keepers of Mother Earth, and we are a community where we fundamentally believe that supporting and protecting our environment comes from within us. It can be things that can be done from the outside, and we know that there's a bunch of organizations out there that do that already. And we all, throughout our lives, have experienced that it might be more sustainable, as this is also sometimes a key word in that topic around environmental protection. It might be more sustainable to start within. So that means like supporting each and everyone to live a life in abundance, a life in freedom, financially and also emotionally free, while living in alignment with our Mother Earth. It develops through the connection of ourselves to within us. And throughout that connection within us, we also learn to connect to Mother Nature. And through that, we understand that we're actually part of it. It's not something outside of us, it's something that we are part of. And once we understood that, there is no question that we have to take care of her. And we have to take care of us. So a short story about myself. Throughout my life, I always wanted to contribute to a better world. I always thought that I invent something, and with my technical skills, I can support that. I yet had to learn that most of the decisions, what projects to start, come from politics, come from outside, or from people that have more power. And who votes for them? And who actually decides like that they are in charge? It's each and every one of us. So once we have understood that we take care of nature, we take care of us, it will be a clear decision who we vote for and who we let us lead to a better future. That's why we came here and we found that community where we have this, where we share these values, and where we are on a mission to support each and everyone in that community to find that connection to themselves and connection to nature. So we are a like-minded community. We share our findings on that path, and we develop that awareness and we grow together. This block in the afternoon is about deep breathing. I thought a bit about it, what I'm going to share with you. And actually, the first thing that came to my mind, breathing is living. So the breath in many cultures is believed is the energy of life. In also some cultures is called prana or pranic energy. The pranic energy can be recharged while breathing. You can take that in while breathing, but you can also take it in through your other chakras, your hands, and the other main chakras. If you, for example, breathe deeply in your belly, it takes in the most energy. So you can try that with me. You may close your eyes, and for those who are out on the road, just don't close your eyes, but still try it with me. Sit upright and breathe deeply in your belly. Try to visualize that you breathe in through your root chakra. That's in the back of your spine and at the bottom of your spine. You breathe in through that, breathe up your spine until your brain, and breathe out through your spine and through your root chakra again. And always maintain a good belly breath. Try to breathe out slower than you breathe in. Do more breath, and then you may come back. So especially this method, breathing through your root chakra, is especially helpful if you feel that you are low on energy. It will recharge your root chakra that is fundamental for the whole energy level in your body, mainly connected to the physical body, but also through the spiritual body. So this is quite powerful. And if you control your breath, you actually control your life. This is a quite interesting saying I once heard, and I always keep on reminding that. Because breathing actually is directly connected to our parasympathetic nervous system. And this part of our nervous system is responsible for having a relaxed and a calm state. So you can directly activate that if you control your breath. And the most easy way to do that is to really breathe out slower than you breathe in. For me, I have always been quite a nervous guy, to be honest. Always shaking before I have to talk in front of people. And so I do a couple of breathing exercises before I go on stage or before I talk in a public. And throughout the time, I learned to integrate that in my life and to make it a habit to just do that. So you can really learn how to regulate your emotions. It has a direct influence. Don't need to buy anything. It's your biohack that you can apply at any time. I also use that before I go ice bathing, for example. You use a different breathing technique to influence your pain receptors. You use a sort of hollow drop breathing where you breathe very intensively, but then hold your breath and extend that breath emptiness in that sense to up to 2 minutes. And you do that in 3 repetitions, let's say, and then you're ready for ice bathing. And then it doesn't have that extreme impact, the extreme pain that it has when you first do it. Afterwards, you're anyways used to it. So that was me sharing my experience with breath. One thing, I use that extensively working with clients in my mental fitness practice and support them connecting more to the emotional part of their brain, actually. Simona, how do you use breathing, or do you use breathing for any part of your life or even in your professional life?
I certainly do. Well, I love what you said. I agree with everything. My approach is a little bit different. I mean, it comes from a different reason, if you will. What has been my profession up until very recently, and still is in some ways, in some parts, is singing. And I am a classical singer, which means we have, when you sing opera and that kind of stuff, you have no amplification, and you have to project your voice in a way that requires a lot of air. And also the musical phrases are very, very long. The way music was composed was like if the voice was an instrument, imagine a long line that would be written for a violin or for another instrument, and we have to do that with a voice. So you have to really have your breathing sorted in order to manage, because there's very precise requirements. Your breaths have to be, that long, and your voice has to be that loud in order to be heard and to work properly. Like with the whole ensemble, you have an orchestra, you have other singers. So it's like a sport, if you will. Singing the classical way is like a sport. That's one aspect of it. And so I had to work on my breath a lot. And from the very beginning, when I started to study properly, when I started to learn it, and over the years, apart from all the musical side of it and teaching it to others, because I've been teaching singers for the last 20 years or so, but another thing I saw, apart from the benefits for singing, which was my primary concern at the beginning, was what Stefan was talking about, how you can influence other things in your life through that, like the emotions, fear, all of that. And I've learned later that if you breathe into the belly, as I'll tell you in a minute what that means exactly, but as we were doing a minute ago, what you do is not only do you calm yourself down, like you calm down your fear or an emotion that might be hitting you in that moment, but you distress your whole system, you distress your body, and you distress your mind. Because basically, when we are running for our lives, when we're running from tigers, or when we are, trying to cope with an angry boss, or I don't know, an angry mom when we're kids or something, we go like, and we breathe like shallow, shallow, high, 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 fast, 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 and this signals to the body, to the mind, to our emotions, to our whole system that we are in danger. And it keeps us in fight or flight mode. We are really ready to run for our lives. When we breathe the way we were doing a minute ago, this slow and deep breathing has just the power to tell our nervous system that all's well, that we don't need to run, that we're safe, and that all's well. So if we get in a habit of breathing like that in our day-to-day life, like whatever we're doing, not only for singing or not only for efforts or whatever, even watching TV, say, we are basically strengthening our immune system, because when we are stressed, our immune system shuts down, because our system has got more urgent things to do than to save us from bacteria or viruses or I don't know what, because it needs to have us run for our life. Now that's a priority. Let's get let's get our bones back home. And so all other functions are actually shut down. And when we are at peace and we feel safe, that's when the immune system can do its work. That's when our intelligence gets boosted as well. Apart from just tunnel view, where's that hole I can hide in? That's when we get a much better perspective on things also. So this breathing that Stefan has been had us do is exactly what will nourish your body, strengthen your immune system, and also open your mind for better connections in your thoughts, and for intuition, and for all these things that get totally shut down when you are basically fighting, coping, running. Okay, so what we do when we sing, in order to have all that air and all that energy, is we breathe into the belly, as we were doing a minute ago. We breathe through our mouth because we need it very fast, very efficient. We don't have the time on stage, and when you need these big, long phrases to breathe in slowly, 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 and like that. So we breathe through our mouth, And we breathe into the belly as we were doing. And what that is, it's actually the lower part of our lungs. We can't breathe into our belly. That's our stomach and other things there that can't receive any air. But when we breathe into the lower part of our lungs, our belly comes out above the stomach here, say where the solar plexus is. This comes out. If you push against it with your hands, you'll see that you can breathe in there. And then when we sing, we keep pushing out here. We push out the muscle as well in order to get the voice out there. The interesting thing is, have you observed how babies breathe and how babies scream, which is the equivalent of opera singing? Babies breathe into here. Sorry about that. Shut up. Babies breathe into here. They breathe exactly like that. Their little belly comes out. A baby would never breathe like that. They go, and they have this amazing amount of air, and they bring out this amazing amount of voice. Basically what an opera singer does. So when we were small, we were actually breathing in the ideal way. We were calming our system down. We were gathering a lot of strength for everything, also for projecting our voice. And our voice was being heard. And when I say voice, it's got more than just the physical voice, like the sound. We know how piercing babies are. But our voice was being heard even in the sense of expressing what we wanted to express. We were heard when we needed something, when we wanted something. We were more likely to voice our desires, to voice our needs. Then what happens, babies are very noisy, very annoying. No one wants that, because there's always people around who go like, oh my God, there's a baby, what on earth is that? And then you have to calm this little horrible creature down in order not to disturb the elegant people. And this is a cultural problem that we have in the West, especially in the North, but it's very widespread. So a kid is not allowed to do what a kid does, which is take in a lot of energy, transform it, and give it back out transformed, but no less than what it's taken in. So we were actually all great at breathing. We were masters at breathing when we were kids, and then we were not allowed to do that anymore. So we forgot how to do it, which means that if we want to become singers or actors or anyone like that, we need to relearn to breathe, which is very strange, but this is how it is. We have to relearn that from scratch. And it comes sometimes at a big cost, because it goes against our manners. Not only do we have to relearn to breathe the way we did as babies, we have to unlearn all the good manners. Because you are not meant to be loud. You are not meant to breathe like that. And when you breathe like that, actually, you get a lot more connected to your emotions. Good or bad, they come out a lot stronger. So breathing like that is really powerful. It's something that empowers human beings. I think that breathing properly is of the utmost importance. And I would really love for everyone to breathe like that. Because whatever it is you do, and you might even be working at your computer sitting down, it doesn't matter. When you breathe like that, you are just more powerful. Your neurons will fire better. You'll be in better health. You'll be more able to express yourself. And, you'll be more connected to yourself, to what you are, to your power, to everything, and to what's around you, other human beings, nature, whatever. So when we go out in nature and go, oh, the air is great here, I'm gonna wonderful air in these mountains. Don't do that. Go here. Oh. Put it all in the belly, not in the shoulders. And that is where all the energy can be taken in and is yours to use after that for whatever you are you are doing at the moment. I love what you said about also the rhythm, like how long you breathe in for, how long you breathe out for. I think Johnny knows an interesting way of doing that. Maybe you could share that with us. Like if you give your breathing a certain rhythm, that also will make it even more powerful. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm a wild breather. When the long phrase comes, I breathe for it. But you are a lot more systematic there. Will you share with us?
Yeah, so I learned this recently, and yeah, this is really good for like, well, calming down or like meditation time, that sort of stuff. So yeah, the best way, of course, is to breathe the way Simona described with your belly, but then you can also add a certain pace to it, which is the 12-second pace. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe it out for 4 seconds, and then it goes round and round like that. And this is basically because, well, the number 12 is very significant in the universe and comes up a lot. Yeah, this cycle of 12. So yeah, why don't we all try it? We can both practice what Simona said. You can I would suggest put your hand below on your solar plexus, well below it, and find the point and feel that you can push it out. So first we just find the point. We don't worry about the pace at first. So yeah, just make sure your hands or fingers are being pushed out when you breathe. And your chest shouldn't really, almost no moving really. And then when you become comfortable with that, you can try to add the pace. Like I said, you breathe in for 4 seconds. And you hold it for 4 seconds. And you breathe out for 4 seconds. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. So you hold for 4 seconds when you breathe out as well. Is that right? And then you breathe
No,
in
no,
again for
no.
four.
After you breathe out, you instantly start breathing in again. After you breathe out for 4 seconds, and you instantly start breathing in for
Oh,
4 seconds.
okay.
So
So it's four, four, four,
yeah, you
12.
only pause when you have the lungs filled with air.
Right.
So it's more like a triangle than a
Yeah.
square. I
Yeah,
notice a box breathing where you would like breathe in 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds, and hold 4 seconds again. So this is a triangle
Yeah.
than
It
a
feels like a triangle to me too. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
and like I say, it's really good for calming yourself down and getting into that nice and clear space. Or if you want to do some inner work. Um, yeah, and I feel the best thing is when you get to this point where, well, in the beginning you might need to practice it and think, oh, I need to breathe with my belly, but after a while it becomes automatic and you don't even think about it anymore. Like all the time you're breathing with the belly, it's your automatic routine.
That's exactly it. When you get to that, you don't think about it anymore. It's automatic. That's when you are constantly recharging. It's like recharging your batteries for me. This is energy that you take in all the time and that you transform and reuse, but you are taking it all the time. Whereas when you breathe the other way, you are not really recharging. So you are spending more than you are receiving, basically. and that is very consuming and very stressful for the whole system.
It's maybe not even existing. It's just like surviving. If you don't do it,
it's a total survival mode. Yeah, absolutely.
wow, thank you for all the sharings.